Hey everybody, it's Tyler here at Sunshine Showdown, checking in with 64411B, be greater than you. This team has been absolutely rocking it here at this event, one of the top teams coming in. And this is a full rebuild robot. We're going to be talking about what this team has brought. This team here from Florida has a really cool, different set of mechanisms. This hatch mech you're going to have to dive into a little bit more and learn about that. We'll be covering some of the sensors on this robot and just a lot of great things to make this robot work. Really fast scoring machine, great at skills as well too. So let's dive more into this team coming up here on Pits and Parts.
This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following.
The Robotics Education and Competition Foundation provides fantastic programs for students from elementary school all the way through college. These include VEX, aerial drone competition, online challenges, JROTC, drill powered, scholarships, certifications, and so much more. To discover these exciting opportunities, visit recf.org and get connected. Ellis, we were talking before that you did a full rebuild on this robot. Can you talk to me a little bit kind of what you had and what you've gone to and why it's been so successful?
Yeah, so we first started off with the basket bot, and the reason we chose that is for the storage size for skills. That held to about like 10 blocks, and we mainly did that for the long goal control bonuses. So being able to do them in 2 cycles is very efficient instead of doing it in 3. So on our rebuild, we took into consideration that on a basket, that we couldn't control like the order of the blocks, and that was detrimental for us when we're doing the long goal control bonuses. So we switched to an S spot that holds the balls in a single stream so we can keep the order during skills. And the reason we choose an S over Riguan was because, the storage size. We wanted 9 blocks at least minimum in order to do the long goals in 2 cycles. So that was kind of the trade-off we were looking for. And in that process, we also realized that tuning the rollers, because previously we didn't use rubber band rollers, we used flex wheels and intake flaps. But the problem with that was the blocks aren't actually spherical. So what happens is some positions are taller than the other ones. So we realized that rubber band rollers work better. That's also a reason we kind of went with the hatch design.
Alex, let's talk about the journey in regards to these blocks here. You guys score so fast. Can you tell me more about how the hatch works for this and just kind of that general intake process?
Yeah, so we chose to do the hatch because on a traditional S, to score in the middle goals, you have to spin this back, like a roller here, backwards to like put the blocks in there. But with this, it allows us to do 2 11 ones because it just goes through the straight here. So then this goes out there. And then also, it gives us multi-functionality because we have a D-score here. So in the middle of a match, you can just go quickly D-score that middle goal, which is very useful. And it also implements with the curve of the robot by using this mesh and this bent plastic piece here.
And when Ellis was talking to you, you mentioned that you swapped out obviously with that S type shape of going more of these gears in here as well. So can you just talk to me a little about like your choice of gears and how that's all come together?
Yeah, so we decided to choose, especially for like the top stage, bigger sprockets compared to like these smaller sprockets down here. So when you actually run a sprocket, the tangential speed is higher on the surface than if you're just running a small sprocket. So that's why we decided to do it up here, so we can have very fast scoring speed. And then we would have liked to do it down here, but just because of size constraints, we couldn't. And also, compared to like flexors, like us mentioned earlier, the blocks aren't completely uniform. So the band just like squished down, and that allows us to easily get quick score.
This is your first signature event you've been to this year so far. What has the competition been like for you here at Sunshine Showdown? Did anything surprise you in terms of match play, or have you had to adjust anything in regards to your expectations coming in?
Well, I would say at least coming in for Sunshine Showdown, or as our first signature event, the competition's definitely a lot harder than locals. But other than that, the main like strategies like D-score play, the control bonus, using like these D-score arms and this D-score hood back here, that's all like the same. So I mean, it's really just like higher level driving, and that's like the main difference.
Another thing I would like to add is we realized that blocks falling out of the field was actually a more common issue since we don't scrim as much since it was only us 2 in the garage. So we actually had 2 minors, unfortunately, because of that. We haven't had a disqualification yet, but that's something to look out for in a competition later on. Other than that, the competition hasn't been too bad. We should have won all our matches. Another thing to watch out is tipping. Other than that, I think everything's going well.
And Ellis, let's continue here. The one thing I want to dive more into is your different sensors on your robot. And your team has been really good in terms of skills as well too. Can we just bring all that together and how that comes together for this robot?
Yeah, so previously we only ran 1 distance sensor on the side here. And that allowed us to cross the park barrier and lift our tracking wheels off the ground. And the reasoning for that is when we cross that part barrier, if the tracking wheels are down, what happens is it hits it and they bend very easily. So during the autonomous, we raise them midway, and that allows us to cross safely, but then we can't track anymore. So we use distance to reset that. But then we realized that having them only on one side meant that we have to turn towards a specific wall to read it. So on our rebuild, we switched to having 4 distance sensor. 1, 2, there's one on the side here and on the back. And that allows us to read all the walls no matter where we are. And that really helps us speed up the autonomous. So before we could only have like around 87 points, but now we have 102 routed. And it's been pretty useful now.
Can you talk to me about what some of your skill strategy actually looks like in a match?
Yeah, so during the skills, during the game analysis especially, we realized that most of the points, especially in skills, come from control bonuses because blocks are only worth 1 point instead of 3 in a match. So to do that, we actually implemented a skills arm for this. And this basically lets us cross the part barrier and hold the 6 blocks as we cross it so they don't roll out. That allows us to get the control bonus in the middle goal during programming. And that's been pretty useful for us. It's been really consistent. And other than that, we try to fill up all the long goals and clear every loader and park barrier.
Overall, from a robot standpoint, this is a really great thing that's come together. Is there anything like, you know, as playing here at Sunshine Showdown, you're like, hey, we love this rebuild, but maybe we change something a little bit different?
It's probably be the lower goal scoring. It's been a little inconsistent with the 7th block. It can get 6 very easily. But with the 7th block, it's a little inconsistent as when you raise it. Sometimes a block, like we said about how they're not uniform, if it ends up like this, the roller pushes it too far. But if we raise it anymore, it won't push it anymore. So that's probably like the most important fix to improve our skills at least. But that's like the only problem that's holding our skills autos back. So yeah, that'll probably be our main fix.
Well, Be Great to really appreciate you taking time to tell us more about your machine here. Doing really well, so we can't wait to see how you do, of course, here at Sunshine Showdown, but throughout the rest of the season as well. So thanks a lot for being on Pits and Parts, and I think there's a lot of things that you guys can learn from on this robot. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. The Robotics Education and Competition Foundation provides fantastic programs for students from elementary school all the way through college. These include VEX, aerial drone competition, online challenges, JROTC, girl-powered, scholarships, certifications, and so much more. To discover these exciting opportunities, visit recf.org and get connected.